Well, good Friday to you guys. We've almost made it to the weekend. We do have rain on the way. First, I wanted to give you an update on a couple of accidents out there. This one clearing. This is I-16 eastbound. If you're heading into Savannah on I-16, left lane closed earlier. You'll just probably be backed up about 5 to 10 extra minutes on this. It is clearing up though, so there's some good news. Also, I just had reports here of a possible car fire. This is over on 17 near Buckhalter Road. So that is a little newer, so that's going to take a little bit longer for that to get cleared up. In fact, they just turned one of our reporters around in the area. So I would recommend not going on Highway 17. And if you want a little bit broader view here of where that is pretty much on the way over to 516 there before you make it over to Chatham Parkway. So that's just a quick traffic update if you guys are heading out to lunch, but I do want to focus on the weather because it is a first alert weather day. Now, we did see some showers earlier this morning, and we're kind of getting a little bit of a break right now. So this is the current radar here, the live radar, not showing up a ton right now, at least in the low country over in the coastal empire, but it doesn't take much. You just nudge the radar over to the west a little bit, and that's when we're seeing these showers with embedded heavy downpours starting to move into our western communities. Alma about to get some rain, Baxley going up toward Claxton, Glenville, Statesboro, Bullitt County, part of Bullitt County getting a little bit of rain now, but most of us still on the dry side. But the first alert weather day today, of course, is because all of this moisture is going to be moving our way, making it to us here whenever we're getting in that time frame where a lot of people are going to be on the roadways. So that's going to be this afternoon for the afternoon commute, going into the evening time frame as well. And where you see these reds, these oranges, the yellows, that's going to be moderate to heavy rainfall. Now, I do have the lightning turned on here. We're just not seeing a ton of lightning. I think later in the day, the atmosphere is a little bit more favorable for maybe a thunderstorm or two closer to the coast. I-95 corridor up into the low country could see a strong storm or two, meaning thunderstorms could have, say, straight line wind from 40 to 60 miles an hour. It's going to be very isolated. This is not widespread, but these are the current conditions that we're dealing with. Very dry now, but all this moisture off to the west is moving our way. And I'll put that on a loop for you one more time here. Hello to everybody watching on Facebook. I do appreciate it. A few of you guys commenting. Hope you guys are enjoying the day. Just know that it is going to be a little bit messier as we go to the afternoon hours. Now, temperatures have really not changed all that much whatsoever here today. Pretty much where we were whenever the sun came up this morning in the 70s and in the 60s even over in Swainsboro, Statesboro as well. Highs today only going to be mid to upper 70s. We're really not going to see those temperatures go up much more because we already have the cloud cover, and now we're going to get the rain to come on in as well. So this is all we're going to have today. Tomorrow, fall-like conditions are going to return back with us, but for today, we really have to get through that marginal risk of severe weather first, and that's what we're dealing with for the rest of today. All of this green shaded area included here in the low country, Beaufort, Jasper, Hampton County. You guys included this as well as all the viewing counties here in the coastal empire here in Georgia. This marginal risk, it's only 1 out of 5 on the convective outlook scale. So, you know, it's a low risk, but it's a risk either way that you look at it. And the threats that we're kind of worried about, there are those pockets of heavy rain, but more so these isolated stronger storms. And right now there aren't any thunderstorms out there, but again, later in the afternoon, the atmosphere is going to be a little bit more accepting of some of these heavier downpours becoming thunderstorms. And we had thunderstorms earlier today in southwest Georgia, early this morning moving our direction, but right now it's just these pockets of heavier rainfall that we're looking at. So the threats that we're mainly concerned with would be these isolated gusty winds. Notice that these are on the low end here of the hazard scale, but also notice that there's a very, very low end risk of an isolated tornado. So it's not out of the question, it's just not very likely. Wanted to just bring it to your attention so that you know that it is a possibility. So what I suggest, the WTOC weather app, you probably knew that was coming, is going to be a great way to receive alerts today. So here we have the hour by hour forecast, and this is of course updated manually by us here, your WTOC meteorologist, First Alert Weather Team, and it will show you that later on this evening we're going to see a little bit more favorable conditions for us to maybe get outside, get some of those plans done, but we will have a decent amount of rain coming in before that. So there's a video on here describing that. I'm going to post another one coming up later here. But you can also check out the interactive radar, and it will pick up those storm tracks. You can kind of tell which direction these thunderstorms are moving in case maybe you're at work, you're on a quick break, you want to check out what's going on. You can see overall these are moving off to the east-northeast, but they're going to be moving into our viewing area here pretty soon. We already have some out there as well. And you don't have to have all these turned on. You can come in here and go to the map layers, turn off the storm tracks, and lightning's turned on. There's just not any lightning right now. And you can even turn on this thing called road weather, and it makes it a little bit busy, but whenever it comes in there, it will start to give you some of these road conditions as well. It just takes a minute to load, so you'll just have to be mindful of that when you guys are using it. Of course, don't use it while you're driving. But back here to our graphics, we're just watching this big mass of rain really coming in on time here. Thought that it was going to be around lunchtime that it started moving into our western areas, and that's what it's looking like right now, really between that 11:30 to 1 o'clock around lunchtime here. Vidalia, you're going to be one of the first areas to get some of this heavier rainfall. These bands, it looks like the heaviest stuff's going to kind of just skirt us, go up more toward Augusta for the short term, but later on this afternoon, that's when we're going to get a little bit heavier rainfall. Let's take you hour by hour here with the future radar. What the latest model run, it's changed just a little bit from what we were looking at earlier, say if you were watching this morning, but it still is in consensus. I think this is bringing it in a little early, so probably not 2 o'clock, probably closer to 3 or 4 here for some of that heavier rain to get here a little bit closer to, say, Waycross, Jessup, Glenville, and then over toward 95 and Savannah. Of course, this being the time where you'd have folks going home from school and work, which is why we have the first alert weather day today. But the good news is that later on tonight, say by 7 to 8 o'clock, again, I think this latest model run's kind of pushing this in and out a little bit fast. But I do think that we will still have some lingering showers tonight, and depending on how much rain you get, say, at your local high school football field, I don't know what's going to happen with games tonight, because it kind of just depends on field conditions, things like that. I know some people have been asking about high school football. The good news is that all the rain is most of the rain is going to fall during the day before those games, but there will still be some isolated showers around the ground, definitely going to be pretty damp here. And I can show you the latest rendering here of future rainfall accumulation. Now this is just through 8 o'clock, but a couple of tenths, about 1/4 of an inch, up closer toward 1/2 an inch for those areas that are going to get the rain really now through the next couple of hours. And especially you can tell where those heavier bands are, where we were just looking at those reds and oranges going up toward the Augusta area. If they stay on that current path, that's over 1/2 an inch of rain for that little swath. And whenever you get into more of the light to moderate rainfall, of course, you're not going to get as much rain. So we're thinking about 1/4 of an inch to about 1/2 an inch today. So enough to be a little bit annoying while you're driving. You want to take it easy on this afternoon commute, especially because it's likely going to be raining for a good chunk of the area during that time. But again, this evening, temperature is still going to be in the 70s there at sunset, and then going into the 60s. Now overnight, our attention then turns to the cooler and drier air that filters in back behind this, because this rain is all in front of the cold front that's coming our way. Watch what happens here. Let's get that rain on out of here. We're actually seeing clearing conditions back in middle Georgia here by already evening time. But fast forward to tomorrow, and it looks like some of us, this is specifically for Savannah, where the low is going to be in the lower 50s in the morning. But say you're in Statesboro, Glenville, Broxton, you guys could get down to the mid-40s, and I can show you that here just a second. But it's definitely going to be cooler inland, because obviously you guys are going to get the rain out first, and you're also going to get the cooler air to you guys first as well. So you have a little bit, maybe a couple hours more of that cooling air to be in your favor, just to come in just a little bit earlier. Now we're already seeing some of that cooler air back regionally. So we're still ahead of this cold front here in the 70s. You can see here in southeast Georgia, the low country, all in the 70s, but already down to 60 in Atlanta and Athens, Nashville in the 40s, and a lot of us will be seeing those 40s coming up in the morning time. It might not be mid-40s for everybody, but it'll be close for a lot of people. So trying to find that one here. I hadn't planned to show that, but I figured why not? We'll get it out there. So if you guys have questions, I'm checking in here on Facebook real quick. Folks saying gray out here in Coffee Bluff. Yeah, it definitely kind of looks like fall, just doesn't really feel like it. Stacy asking about 7 o'clock in Brooklet. I think most of the rain's going to be gone by then at that time in Brooklet. You're going to be drying out, but you're also going to get the rain a little bit sooner before everybody else as well. Tammy asking how bad the storm's going to be over in Jessup. When will it begin? I would say mid-afternoon over in Jessup is when you can expect a little bit of heavier rainfall. Severe weather, again, it's just marginal, 1 out of 5. 20% shot really is not the best shot, but it's better than 0. So we're just, kind of heightened with what we're looking at here today, hence the first alert weather day. Some other people chiming in here. If you have those questions, feel free to shoot them my way. But also wanted to show you the lows for tomorrow. So this is going to be kind of the other half of this cold front. The front side of it, the moisture and the rain, it's muggy out in front of there. But then we fall down to the 40s for Saturday morning. So if you have fall festivals, you're going to get up, maybe do some Christmas decorating. Oh, it's a little early for some people, but I say, hey, if it makes you happy, go for it. Life's too short to not decorate for Christmas when you want to. And 40 is going to be good for that. It's going to feel like fall. So I'm excited for this. Let's go ahead and get to that 7-day forecast here for you guys, because another good thing about this weekend, for one, if you were looking for the return of fall-like weather, we've got that coming up here tomorrow morning, but also we get an hour of sleep added to the weekend, which is great, or hour, whatever you guys are doing. And most people at 2 in the morning are sleeping, but today, first alert weather day, temperature is not really going to make it up much higher than the upper 70s, but tomorrow, Saturday, beautiful day, the nicer day out of this weekend, because looking at the late afternoon, evening on Sunday, those rain chances come back in as well. So that's something that we're looking at too. It's kind of a tale of 2 days here for this Saturday, Sunday. Both nice days, but I do think that when we're kind of putting an end to the weekend is when that rain chance is going to come back up. Also, Tuesday, big day, election day. Some hints already, at least for middle North Georgia, the Carolinas, that there could be some severe storms already Tuesday. So heard it here first. That's something that we're looking at. It's already going to be a busy day with election day. So just keep that in mind. If you can get out here within the next couple of hours or today to get those ballots in if you're a voter, I would recommend that before it really starts raining later this evening, because Tuesday has a chance to be a little bit on the stormy side as well. So if you guys have questions, see, we've got a couple more in here and then we'll end this here. Denise says it's going to be warmer on Saturday. It's going to be colder on Saturday. Most of us not even making it to 70 in the afternoon. And then we've got a question about Hinesville as well. When is that rain going to start in Hinesville? Let's take a quick peek at Hinesville right now, and I will try to time that out for you guys. I'd say within the next couple of hours, you'll definitely have some light rain in the area. So let's zoom on in here. This batch of rain that is down in Alma, Dixie Union, Blackshear, that's going to be moving toward the Hinesville area probably within a couple of hours at the very latest. So you could even have a little bit of rain pop up here before that. But for those of you that are maybe just joining in, no severe storms yet today. There's just like a small risk there for an isolated one or two today. That's going to be maximum. And that heavier rain right now is going toward the McRae area, and that's going to move up towards Swainsboro. And earlier, if you watch this little loop in this area, you could see a few of those lightning strikes north of Dublin, but the rain that's moving our way now, not seeing any lightning with it yet. I think that's going to change a little bit later on. Not widespread, but a couple of embedded thunderstorms within this mass of moisture. So I'm going to have the latest coming up on the news at noon. So if you guys want to tune in for that, feel free. If you have questions, I'll go back and read all your comments here on Facebook. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay dry best you can and drive safe this afternoon. Meteorologist Jamie Ertl is going to be in this afternoon and evening keeping you updated. And again, I'll be here for the news at noon as well. If you have those questions, shoot them my way. If not, have a good rest of your Friday.